Hi. So as you can see, I'm back in the studio again today. I just wanted to try something a little bit different today, talk about something a little bit different. As you can see, I've got these two paintings behind me, which have been kind of on the go for quite some time now, probably a few months. And I just wanted to talk about and maybe do a little bit of work on them and just try something a little bit different there, and talk to you about how I kind of go from the stage where I'm sketching and doing my collage work and gathering ideas through to doing sort of more involved work in the studio, stuff that takes a bit longer. Just before I do that, I thought you might like a little tour of my studio. So this is the where I do my big paintings. So I've got like a studio here, it's like a separate room where I do these larger work, and it's also, I'll do a little spin for you. Hope you don't get too dizzy. But yeah, there's all sorts of stuff going on in here, but I'll show you in a minute. So I just thought, I could just take you through here. So this is the other studio I've got, and it's quite nice to have these kind of separate spaces, obviously. So I feel pretty lucky. But obviously, this is my table where I'm doing kind of all my collage work and things like that. So obviously, you can see I've got quite a few things going on here at the moment. These are, a couple of small kind of collages that I was working on yesterday. I haven't really got there yet. So I'm still working up some of the sketches that I did when I was in Craster a couple of weeks ago, because I did quite a lot of drawings and small paintings while I was there. So I've still got quite a lot to work through. And it's quite nice to have all that kind of source material to kind of really play around with. Obviously on this wall there's some work in progress. The one on the left is just a metre square canvas, and those ones up there are just little, just little boards actually that I've been working on. They're kind of going round in circles at the moment. I like to have lots of different things on the go. It's a lovely light space this, so I'm really lucky, and get a nice view out over town. Oh, I can see my house from here. I can't quite see my house, but and this is where I do my workshops as well. So obviously it's all set up for me at the moment, but I've got the tables for the workshops. They're all set out and ready to go if I want to get that restarted. I've got the first one coming up next month, so that'll be good to get back into that. And some paintings there ready to go to some people. Just another table, and this is just my sink and my kitchen, so it's not really exciting, but I do my film processing up here as well, which is quite nice. That's good fun to do. And so we've just popped back through to the other room. So it's a lovely light space to do the workshop, so it's really handy to have that, and then to have everything kind of set up for myself when I'm here. In here this is just kind of like a bit of a I do my ceramics up in that top corner. Haven't got much on the go at the moment. Hoping to get my kiln set up in here quite soon. I'm going to put it up in this corner where that plan chest is, so that would be nice, but I need some power. What I wanted to just talk about today quickly was how I go from taking those smaller pieces, the sketches and the collages that I do from the sketches, into these kind of larger, more involved pieces. And as you can see, it's really important for me to have lots of things on the go. You see in the other room there, I had quite a lot of different things on the go. There's stuff on the wall, there's stuff on the table, and I've got these big ones in here which have been ongoing for months, really. I mean, this year has been a bit weird, obviously, and I've focused a lot, because of the lockdown. I've been focusing a lot on doing these smaller pieces for the Artist Support Pledge. But I really want to carry on developing these paintings, and having lots of different work on the go really helps me to sort of push things in different areas, try different things out, not to be committed to just doing one painting, work it all the way through, finish it, and then move on to the next one. I like to have a series of work on the go, whether it's small pieces, large pieces. Have this mixture of different things that I can kind of work my ideas through, and hopefully, over time they don't all happen at the same time. Some of them get done, some of them get turned into something else. So having that series of work, a lot of the time it can be work that's got a similar kind of theme running through it as well. And I think that's, that's really useful to have that kind of series of thematic work, and you can try different ideas out on different paintings and see what works. Yeah, so these paintings here, they're both they're sort of 4 foot 120 centimeters square on canvas, big canvases. They're things that I've been just kind of playing around with, and they've gone through all sorts of different stages. At one point they had an awful lot of this kind of graffiti kind of marks on them, and I kind of worked over that and got rid of some of it and brought some of it back. I've been using quite a lot of spray paint. There's kind of all this spray painting table there. I've got these different colours and a really nice way of working, actually, quite an interesting way of applying the paint, which is something I've not really tried before. But I never really felt like I knew where they were going. They were kind of like nice paintings in search of an idea. That happens sometimes, and it's quite nice, just to be working and just playing around with textures and colours and shapes, and trying out different ways of making marks. And in fact, actually, all this kind of writing, and in fact, actually, all this kind of this sort of writing and kind of graffiti type scrawling that I've done on them. Some of them are actually song lyrics from the band I'm in, so I just wanted to think of a way of making a different mark, and actually just writing on them was a different mark, and I kind of found that quite interesting. But again, even though the marks were quite nice, and I thought the colours are quite nice, and I actually even quite like the arrangement of the painting, particularly this one. I think this one's working quite well, but I still didn't really feel like I knew what it was. It was quite nice to have that sort of that freedom to have the kind of playfulness. I mean, there's no exhibition particularly coming up at the moment, because of the lockdown, everything kind of got put on hold, so I'm not really working towards anything specific, so it's quite nice to have that sort of freedom. But the other side of that is, I think sometimes if you've got too much freedom, you never finish anything, so that's the problem I had with these ones, I think. But now, after coming back from, because we were allowed to get away, and we were very lucky to have been offered a house by the harbour up in Northumberland. You've probably seen the video. If you haven't seen the video, I'll put a link on it. But those paintings I did, those kind of small paintings, they're making me think that these, they could work really well. The kind of textural, the harbour wall, the waves, there was all sorts of stuff going on then. It was really nice. The atmosphere was fantastic, and I actually think they're going to work quite well for these. So that's what I'm going to try and do with these, I think, is to try and push them in that direction. I'll take you through to the other room, and I'll talk about the sketches. Yeah, so let's just go back through here. I wanted to just have a quick look at these little paintings that I was working on. You may have seen some of these on my Instagram, but I was doing the sketches for these sitting out by the harbour in Craster. So it was fantastic. It was just so interesting. There was so much going on. There was obviously the sea, and all the shapes and textures and colour. Yeah, it was great. So I did quite a lot of sketching. I did just gathering ideas, really. I'm not really with any kind of idea where they were going to go. But that's the nice thing about doing the sketching and the way that I do it, is that it's all about being playful and just chucking the paint around, getting ideas, getting marks down, and not thinking about what I'm going to do with it later on. And then then I'll bring all that material back to the studio, and I've got a big kind of big pile of stuff here. Most of this is from that kind of session, actually. There's those kind of couple of sessions I did while I was out painting by the harbour, and I'll bring them back here, and I'm kind of playing around with them. These aren't really gone anywhere. Maybe I'll go around and have a look at that one. This is still kind of loose, putting them together. Yeah, so these are just pieces that I'm kind of I've torn up, and I'm kind of just having a really good play with some of this stuff, and just to see where it goes. Again, so it's kind of was part of the ideas gathering process, really. That I've got no sort of preconception about what I want from these pieces of work, and that's how I want it. I don't want to know what they're going to look like, because if I know what they're going to look like, there's not really any point in doing them. Because I'm not learning anything, not finding anything new, and that's what keeps me interested in painting. So actually, it wasn't while I was actually in the studio that I was thinking about this. I was just lying in bed and I was thinking about these paintings that I was doing, and then I started thinking about these. I was looking at them, just thinking about what I want from them, and I think some of those textures and shapes and colours could translate really well into these larger paintings, and so I think that's what I'm going to do with them. I'm certainly going to have a good go at it, because I mean, this one, I mean, just looking at it now, I mean, it's almost there. I just need to think about it in a slightly different way and add some new direction to the painting, which is why I work, why I work quite a lot, really. I'm kind of working away and letting the ideas kind of sort of mature in my mind, and then at some point I'm like, yeah, I know what I want. I know what I want to do with that, and then I can just kind of push it in a slightly different direction, and hopefully come up with something interesting. But that's the way I work quite often, really. I'm kind of doing all this sketching and working through ideas and letting it kind of just mull over in my mind, and just kind of thinking about it and thinking, what do I want from this, or where's this going? And then usually, hopefully, at some point, something will kind of click in my head, and I'm like, that's it. That's what I want from these. That's the direction that this needs to go in. So, this one here particularly, I think it's almost there. Now I'm looking at it in this way. I'm looking at it in a new way. I'm thinking about it in a new way. I'm thinking about it in relation to those sketches that I did sitting by the harbour. And I'm looking at the colour, I'm looking at the dark areas here, that's got that shadowiness. It's even got, some of the shapes. So I think I just need to kind of try and start working on it and kind of push it in this new direction, be a bit more deliberate about it, and hopefully it won't take too long to do. I say that, what I'll probably do is screw it up. So, but if that happens, then it happens, and I've just got to be got to be cool about it, and just keep working on it, because I've got this other one as well, and I can start thinking about that as well. So it's nice to have these a couple on the go, particularly these big ones, because I can kind of work on one of them and then do a bit on the next one, and while it's drying and while I'm thinking about it. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So hopefully over the next few days and the rest of the week, I'm going to try and do some of that. And I'll get the camera on and I'll film some of it, and have a chat while I'm talking about it. And things, it's just going to take too long. I can't film the whole thing, and I don't really like those stop motion things, because you don't really kind of time lapse. I mean, you don't really kind of get a sense of what's going on. So but I'll certainly kind of dip in and out of the painting process that I'm going through, and kind of have a chat about how they're going. So I hope you found that interesting. Obviously it was a bit more of a kind of chat video today, with me kind of talking at you. So I don't know if this is the kind of thing you want to watch, so please let me know if you found it interesting, you'd like me to do more of that sort of thing. Obviously, if you like the videos, please hit the subscribe button. Kind of amazingly, I've just got over 3,500 subscribers, which is way more than I thought I was going to get when I started doing these. So please do like and share and all that kind of stuff, because it helps me out a lot, gives me the impetus to keep going. And anyway, so thanks a lot, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.